Hey there, welcome to the YouTube podcast. I'm Chris. I got Craig with me, Joe. Craig's wife's in the background too. We have like an audience, a sitting audience, which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah. It's like the Tonight Show out
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
One audience member.
One audience member.
Well,
she,
we have our three dogs as well, so they count.
okay. All right, yeah. Sometimes we hear them in the background too, so it's all
Sometimes
good.
we do. Yeah.
All right. Well, Joe, how you doing? You've been traveling all over the place, I hear.
I have been traveling a little bit down to Florida last week and then up to Kentucky. I went to the part of the area that was hit by the flooding
Mm.
is where my peoples are from. So I went
Oh,
back and things are okay in our neck of the woods, relatively speaking. But just driving through there, it's like every waterway is out of its banks already. Just it's been really bad there. It's one of those stories that you see in the national news, and then it hits home because it is home. You know,
okay.
so been kind of working with some people and talking to some friends who are out of the area about who are gathering supplies and things like that. And one of my best friends from college just happens to be now a relatively high ranking member in the Kentucky legislature. So over the
Oh,
weekend, I was like sending messages to her like, "Hey, how can people help? What's the best way for them to do it?" So kind of making some connections that way. But the rain will hold off. Fingers crossed they can start to be out and everything. But anyway, yeah, glad to be back after missing you guys last week from being on the road. So we'll
yeah.
see where this week takes us.
Yeah, yeah. Where did we go last week, Craig? Last week seems
Well,
like 10 years ago.
I believe it was Joshua Weissman
Oh, yeah.
making his Big Mac
Yeah,
Duke. So yeah,
I hated to miss that one.
yeah, you miss an interesting one. I Joshua Wiseman, I had him recommended to me like every other day on YouTube. Never checked him out. I was impressed. Not the greatest, but I was impressed. Let me start out with some kind of breaking news since we're kind of covering the YouTube creator beat here. Dame Drops maybe dropping his YouTube channel now.
oh, that's heartbreaking
Well,
news.
you were too critical of him, Chris. I think that was probably
Me?
you torpedoed him. He got wind that the YouTube podcast was not too impressed with his last video, and he's like, "Well, I'm hanging up my Spurs if that's what it's going to be like."
I was waving the Dame Drops flag, and I mean, I was sitting there going, "Man, this is going to be great." But no, I think Joe and Craig. No, I think he may come back to it. He's trying to work on some other projects. I saw a note he's kind of doing a little bit more of his Patreon channel. I know he's interested in helping other YouTube people create their channels. So good luck to Dame Drops. I think he'll still do some stuff, and he might pick it up later. But good luck to him. Again, I know that there was problems with Dame Drops, but he made me laugh. So
Well,
it
it's
was
not.
good.
Is it a coincidence that following our video of him, mentioning maybe his 29-minute video being a little too long? If you look at his recent posts, we have 13 minutes, 11 minutes,
Yeah.
9 minutes. There's a 15-minute one, which is by far the longest. So maybe Dame Drops listened to us and said, you know what? I can't have a 29-minute podcast about singing about tucking a napkin into my shirt.
I think I
Well,
think you're onto something there. I mean, and really, more YouTube creators should listen to us. I mean, that's
yeah.
that's one of our many taglines. Hey, the YouTube podcast. We're not as dumb as we look.
But
Yeah.
You know.
I don't want to be the guy that made Dame Drops leave. That's kind of depressed me.
No, you're the guy. You're the guy who I think has inspired him to step back and reflect, refocus his energies, and come back better than ever. I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's how it's going to
yeah.
go. See,
Well, it was ironic because he was asking, and I guess they're making some decisions on what to do with this the site because they're seeing if anybody would take his place, so there'd be someone kind of portraying Dame Drops, and I'm like, Craig, that could be one of us.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Honestly, maybe I would do that if I could take on his whatever his monthly income from the YouTube channel is with his
I would,
1.64 million
There you go.
subscribers.
yeah.
I'll take it on. I like to eat food. I'll take it on. So sure.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'll
All right.
keep my videos short though, and I won't rap 3 times in one video about the ghetto napkin.
Yes. Yes. I just liked when they did the 24-hour thing where he yelled at cars in front of him. I don't know.
That
Guys,
was pretty good. Entertaining.
Well,
I
he could
understand
have just
it
got
wasn't
his own
perfect.
food.
I
He didn't
know.
have to rely on anybody else. He could have just said, "I want 17 hamburgers, so just get them." Like
It's
he
been
didn't
a
have to
busy.
make it that way. People would have still watched it, whether the person ordering in front of him was the ordering for him or not.
It's been a crazy last couple weeks of work. Ohio is doing crazy things, and Ohio seems to be breaking news 50 times a day in the last couple weeks.
Right.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, I need to watch something to laugh, and hey,
Yeah.
it's helped. All right, well, let's talk about our YouTube channel for tonight, and I'm looking at the video so I say it right because I said it wrong all of last podcast. Kara and Nate. I didn't know too much about them, but apparently I'm one of the only ones that don't. They have, and this is strange. Oh no, I see what happened here. They have over 3 million followers on YouTube. They're
Yeah.
pretty known. I don't know if you guys have seen them beforehand. I stumbled across one of their videos, and I'll admit, I'm not sure if I'm waving the Karen Nate flag. Am I hating on him? I'm not sure what to feel about him. Have you guys heard or seen anything from Karen Nate before last week?
I had not. This was first I had seen of them.
Okay.
Yeah, this was
Okay.
my first time seeing him. Surprisingly, a couple that does 500-mile bike rides does not show up on my YouTube.
Yes.
Does not show up
Right.
on my suggested YouTube videos as I'm watching everybody stuff their face full of food and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at one point in this video, Kara said that of Nate that oh, he can run 10 miles and not break a sweat, and I'm like, what is he, an alien, a lizard?
Yeah.
I don't. How do you do that? Oh, in a car.
Yes.
Right. There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's me. That's how I do it.
Well, these guys are travel bloggers. I've seen some of their other videos. They've went around the world. I think during COVID, when they couldn't travel around the world as much, they were kind of going to different places in America. And I'm not sure when this was filmed, but this just came out, looks like over the weekend, maybe? And I've got some questions about this. The wife carrying world championship. I've seen this promoted before on ESPN. I don't know if they've ever aired it, but they do hey, on the lighter side of sports, people are carrying their wives around. And this is in, where's this at? The Netherlands, I believe?
Finland, I think.
Yeah, Finland.
Finland,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
Oh.
Helsinki. They flew into Helsinki.
Okay. And this was filmed June of 2022. So, not, they didn't film over the weekend, but this wasn't too long ago. I don't want to be mean here, but I need to say something. First of all, what are your guys' take on Karen Nate? I mean, we've seen some people who are over the top. We've seen some people who just let the reporting do the reporting for them. Karen Nate seemed a little bit different. Craig, are you a Karen and Nate fan on their personality?
Well, I mean, they seem pretty personable, but they also seem like they're sort of playing a role here on YouTube, and maybe that's kind of evolved from their whatever their beginnings were on YouTube. But it's not necessarily that because they do activities and stuff that I don't like them. It's just I don't know that what they do really speaks to me as a YouTube watcher. Like, I don't know that I need to worry about watching a couple decide what's the best way of carrying someone in a. I mean, it didn't really seem to make a lot of sense that they were doing this. It's fun that they're having fun, and that's great for them. But for a an average YouTube watcher like me, I don't know. I just why do I care? And then you look at some of their other videos. They have like 300 miles on a bike. Like it's a 28-minute video. Seems like it's a little unnecessarily long. I will say, I would probably watch their $8,000 first class flight seat, maybe,
Okay.
as something that's a little bit more appealing to the masses. But watching the world wife carrying finals in Finland, I don't know. I didn't. It's not that the video is terrible. I watched it all the way through, and I'm like, oh, it's over. But it was probably more of like, I'm kind of glad that it's over because I didn't really care.
Joe, are you Karen Nate fans? If Karen
Um,
Nate was next door neighbors, are you hanging out with them?
uh, maybe I don't I wouldn't think I'm kind of like you, Craig. This is not my sort of YouTube video. Although I will say, clearly they have an audience. We know that they've got
Yeah.
3 million subscribers or whatever. Um, and I mean, look, I, I I was supposed to love Friends when it was on NBC, and I think maybe I saw 4 episodes. Wasn't my thing, but golly gosh, gee, I was a college student. I was supposed to want to be these people, and it just wasn't my thing. Same thing with Kara and Nate. Although I will say this, I think their enthusiasm, their exuberance in the video, um, it, it'll that sort of thing will definitely find an audience or has an audience and is going to um, confuse me
Yeah.
because it's not my thing. But clearly most things aren't my thing. What's successful. Netflix top 10 shows on it or on any given day, I'll look through them and I'm like, why did somebody give somebody money to make a thing like this? I don't, but there it is. It's the third most popular streaming show on Netflix for a day or whatever. Um, but the event and their participation in it, hey, yeah, I get it. They're trying to, you know, they're sampling as many weird things as they can or interesting things or whatever in their travels. And I imagine, especially post COVID lockdown, I won't say post COVID because we're not post COVID, clearly, but post COVID lockdowns, I guess travel bloggers and travel writers and travel content creators on YouTube and TikTok, wherever they might be, they're all trying to get out there and do stuff. I can't blame them for that. Um, but yeah, I'm not going to be participating in any event that's a wife carrying thing or whatever. That's
Yeah.
yeah, no,
I kind of wonder too, like with Joe saying the post COVID lockdown. I kind of wonder if that's inspiring more viewership because this video is like 1 day old and it literally has like 500,000 views. So I kind of wonder if people are like so eager to see other people exploring the world again that they don't even care. They're willing to see a wife carrying contest,
right.
this random couple. I don't even understand how they did they like pay like an entry fee or did they have to qualify on the circuit in America to become the American couple in this? I just don't understand like how they just parachuted into this event that apparently goes on every year and they just decide, yeah, we're going to be in the wife carrying competition this year.
Well, and here's the thing. Okay, I gotta give them credit. The show is pretty well put together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a show that I could see on Netflix or
Yeah, it's well
Discovery.
produced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a credit. Here's what bothers me about Karen Nate. I'm trying not to be mean here. They are way too darn perky. I mean, they're that cute little young couple that are smiling all the time, and they're just, Joe and I are in a meeting together at 10:30. You know they're trying to be perky during the meeting, get everyone excited and everything. Kara and Nate would be great in that 10:30 meeting. Are they dot producers somewhere? And again, I'm not. If any of our dot producers hear this, which would be fun if they do, I'm not making fun of any of you guys, but it's way too perky. Are you that perky in real life, or are you just perky on a 10:30 call or on these videos? I mean, and I hate to say it, they're probably legitimately nice people. There's not enough legitimately nice people in this world today.
Absolutely.
Maybe this world needs more Karen Nates, but I had a long day. I'm watching this, and yeah, it's not. It doesn't make me angry, but I'm like, you're way too perky. Just calm down, you know.
Well, it's easy to be perky when you have most of your videos involves spending vast sums of money. For instance, $8,000 on your first class seat versus economy, 24 hours living on a sailboat, flying first class across America. I mean, they're doing pretty well. So that's probably why they are perky, is because life's going well for them.
Listen, here's the thing. Van life 2022 means something vastly different from van life 1992.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
1992 van life was down by the river.
Right.
Okay, and not in a campground. You know what I'm saying? This that's the thing. If you've got van life money in today's environment, I think you got cause to be perky. Probably,
sleeping in a $20,000 a night per room, per night room in New York City. I mean, these people are they spent 35 hours straight in a private room of an Amtrak train. I mean, they have a lot of reasons to smile during their videos.
Yeah, it's just stuff is going for these guys. They're just way too.
Yeah, they're too rich. They have to throw their money at various projects that in turn make them more money on YouTube. Like they,
spend money to make money.
Well, exactly. But I mean, they literally had. I mean, you look at some of their viewership. I mean, we're talking millions of views per video almost.
Right.
I mean, every video is up over 1 million views, or at least close to 1 million or more.
Yeah, but it's like
trading in a tiny home we traded tiny homes for 24 hours, 7.6 million views.
Well, but that's the whole Mr. Beast philosophy. Once you get a certain number of viewers and views, I mean, you could spend a lot of money per video. I mean, I guess the other YouTube creator news, Mr. Beast passed 100 million subscribers last week.
Wow.
Once you do that, you're getting a lot of budget to play with. Here's the other thing, and we don't have too long. I don't want to beat this to death too much. The wife carrying championships. I guess every town needs their own shtick. You can't always have 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. But what's with this? I mean, it's bad shtick. Okay, it's funny. The guy carries a woman over her head. It looks creepy. The fact she's backwards over his head with his legs around his head. I don't know. It's just bad shtick, Craig. I mean, and Joe. It's something that we'd see in a small town in Ohio. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time, and apparently since like the 19th century. So it's been around. So I guess it has its place because of that, and that's fine. I mean, I don't think it's harming anything to have it. Is it necessarily something that I think should be in existence? I don't, probably not, but it doesn't matter. It's there. Some people like doing it. It's like carrying an egg on a spoon. It's, there's up where I used to cover stuff in Fremont. They had office chair races down a hill and stuff. There's people that outrun wheels of cheese in the United Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has to have their own little thing, and yeah, it's shtick, but it's kind of just it's theirs, and they make it their own, and good for them if no one gets hurt, and maybe they make money and give it to charities or whatever. Who knows what happens? But it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it probably works for them, I suppose.
What's with the weight shaming too? Because the wives all have to weigh in before the meet, and you win their weight in beer.
Yeah,
Right. Well,
if they don't weigh enough, you have to carry weight to make the
Oh, okay.
competition fair. Yeah,
right.
So
yeah.
you can't marry a tiny woman just to hopefully win
Nope.
the contest.
I mean, hey, and to be fair, this has been going on for more than 2 decades as an organized competition,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a history of it in Finland. You know,
Okay.
there's a you know, it's not exactly. I mean, and you know, the town where they hold it, I mean, it's like 4,000 people. You know,
Right.
so it is clearly an analog for, you know, the pumpkin festival or the apple festival or the, you know, the you know, biggest ball of yarn festival or whatever in a, you know, and
Right.
it's worked for them. It's worked for the town. I mean, the town 40,000 or 4,000 people, 4,200 people, however many it is. You know, they're now known the world over for this. Um, and you
Okay.
know, not for nothing, it's nowhere near as dangerous as chasing a wheel of cheese down a hill.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
true.
but
Right. Yeah.
Well, well, and think about it this way. I mean, we love our American football, and there's no better sport than that. But we're one of the only countries that really do American football.
yep.
So maybe our American footballs to
Yeah.
Finland is like their wife carrying championships to us.
Yeah. Maybe they think we're weird. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like it's harmless fun. I mean, I kept thinking, when the way he was carrying her face was dangerously close to his rear end, but
Yeah, it was
you
weird.
know, that's I guess that's the bullets you have to dodge in battle right there.
Yeah.
If you have
Well, now, I mean, well, you know, when they were testing their carrying positions too, the first two just you know, uh, there was no way they were going to complete the course.
right. Yeah.
So
I'm glad there's strategy involved, but
Well,
right, right,
Well, I'll put it this way, not to go blue on anybody, but last week this guy Jonathan Weisman was promoting his book, so he had some shtick about how you can wipe your butt with it. Well, my wife walks in right as he was about ready to wipe his rear end with the book, and she's like, "What the heck are you watching? Are you watching something horrible?" And I would think, now my wife didn't walk in on me as I was watching Kara and Nate, but there are probably some scenes where they're like, "What are you watching? Why are you watching this?"
well, yeah. I
Very
mean,
strange.
watching a man potentially wipe himself with a book is probably stranger than these couples racing against time. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have fun with it. It's probably at like
Oh
some
yeah.
festival or fair, and it seems like they have a lot of fun with it. And maybe it's just for fun, or maybe it's for fun and money. And I do wonder though, since this was their first time attempting this, what's the quality of couples in this? Because they finished in the top 10. Now it was only out of 20, but they finished in the upper half of this event, despite the fact that it was just their first time doing it. So you kind of call into question the quality of couples out there,
well,
Okay.
performing in this.
I think Kara and Nate, I believe their time was around a minute 30, maybe a minute 37, minute 35, something like that.
You know,
And the winners, the Lithuanian couple, I believe they came in at a minute 7. And clearly the Lithuanians were there to win.
yeah,
They they were serious. They were focused. But they were having fun too. They gave them advice, before the race. To the Americans there,
right,
and it was, they were clearly encouraging them and whatnot. But it was,
yeah,
it was one of these things is not like the other between these two competing couples.
Well, I can see why they would let them get involved in this, because this gives a lot of exposure to this event. So they're going to get probably a few million YouTube views on this. So then people are going to find out about it, and then maybe research, and maybe they'll vacation there or something. And so I can see why the Finnish leadership in that city were probably like, yeah, let's bring this couple in that has a million, 3 million YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, why don't they film it themselves? I thought that was kind of strange.
Well, maybe they have somebody that does it or whatever. I mean, who knows? Maybe they do, and we don't get the finished sports package. To
Yeah. Or it'd be like the Live Golf Tour. Just put it
yeah,
on YouTube or whatever,
yeah. I'm
Well,
surprised that something like this isn't on like ESPN 8 The Ocho. We talked about that last week, and this
Oh,
give
could
it
yeah.
be
time.
something right up the Ocho's alley.
Give it time. Give it time. Although, one more note: the Lithuanian couple I was just bragging on there for winning. The carry style that most of the participants used was called the Estonian
Yeah,
carry,
Hmm.
which of
Okay.
course Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia are the Baltic states there. So I clearly the Lithuanians learning from their Estonian neighbors there,
yeah.
and then benefiting in the wife carrying competition. So yeah, I think you're right, Craig. It's bound to. Well, it used to be you couldn't see the world's strongest band competition anywhere. There were
No,
snippets of it somewhere, and now that thing is everywhere. It seems like there's one every week, right?
yeah.
This is gonna. It's. I'm all right. I'm all. I don't know about Kara and Nate. I wish them well, but I am a fan of the wife. I want to see the wife carrying competition succeed. I'm not going to participate in it, but golly gosh, gee, there's some version of ESPN that's got this thing that should really pick it up. I'm telling
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you, we need sponsors.
Uh, Craig, your wife watched this before the podcast. Not, she doesn't need to come on, but was she in favor of wife carrying? Did she want you guys to take a trip to Finland next year or not?
She said no.
She
I
said
wasn't
no.
from
Okay.
She
the
did.
race. I think I like the couple. How like they do couples races.
She
like
did
they
say she
do,
likes the race and the couples races, and
like how
Okay.
you can do couples exercises and stuff. I think it falls in line.
yeah, and she
But I
said
wasn't a
it
fan
kind of mirrors what they do, which is couples exercising and things of that nature. So
Okay.
yeah,
Is she going to start watching Nate and Kara videos or Kara
are
and
you gonna
Nate
start
videos?
watching them?
I might see what else they have.
She said she'll see what else they have.
All
Yeah.
right, there you
So,
go. They picked up a new subscriber from
yeah, yeah.
Craig's
Well,
wife.
hopefully she doesn't watch the $20,000 a night per room in New York City and be inspired to want to go
Oh,
stay
yeah.
there ourselves. That would be a little out of our price range.
Have her watch some Kirk Cass. I want to see what
There
she
you
thinks
go.
about that. That'd be great. All right. I made the same mistake, and I've got that I usually do, where I don't bring stuff into the table for next week. You guys, I've got something I could suggest if you guys don't have anything, but anything you guys want to take a look at for next week?
No, actually, I think this is probably a week that I don't really have anything
Okay.
on the mind here.
Joe, anything on your mind?
Not at the moment. No, not really.
Okay, well, this is my back pocket. I need to find one that would be fun to talk about. But I've enjoyed Nutty History. Don't know too much about it. They just do some interesting discussions about events throughout history, but they kind of make it goofy. I will pick out a video of them, and we'll talk about something that happened in Nutty History.
Okay.
Kind of like a 10-minute documentary on either a well-known event or a somewhat well-known event. So it won't take too long, and it should be good next week. So
Excellent.
very good. Hey, wanted to mention, probably won't get a chance to do the third segment. I wanted to give my mini review of the Ohio State Fair. Joe, we have optimized probably 50 stories in the last week about stuff at the Ohio State Fair. My wife and I got tickets for free. A special needs group with adoption and foster care gave some tickets. Had a really good time. A lot of fun stuff to see. What we enjoyed, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, they have a kayak place, and they let the kids kayak for free. It was great.
That's
Kids
excellent.
loved that.
Nice.
That was good. And then I got to meet the great Icky Woods,
Wow.
former
Oh,
running
yeah.
back of the Bengals, and I'm trying to talk him in. I got his email, and Sadly, his son died a while back,
Mm.
and he goes to the fair, just sits at a booth, greets people, walks by. So talk to him for a while. Got his email address. Want him to come on one of our podcasts sometime. I mean, I don't know if he was just being nice, but he didn't seem to be freaked out by it. He's like, yeah, send me your email. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have Icky Woods on sometime. So
Excellent. Man, I love a state fair, man. That's great. I'm glad you guys went.
yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
It's funny. There is one booth with all kinds of old football legends from Pete Johnson. Craig, I don't know if you remember him. He was a Buckeye. He played for the Bengals and the Dolphins. Marcus Cotton. He's an old Ohio State linebacker. And one year, Maurice Claret was there, the Ohio State guy that got in trouble. Maybe Maurice Claret's too old for you guys, but no, he was a popular running back for Ohio State. He tried to go in the NFL draft after his freshman year, and I think he won an injunction, and he never did anything in the pros. So, very good. Anything you guys want to shout out or call out or get angry about or yell about, fight about?
I'll make another pitch there if you want to help out with the flood relief in eastern and southeastern Kentucky. There are all kinds of websites and links there on the Kentucky state government sites, and anything you can send to help. They're looking for all sorts of assistance. If it's not just money, there's all kinds of things they can use. They're looking for volunteers, so do what you can to help. And the same thing with any other disaster. It seems like there's so many of them. Wildfires in California, wildfires elsewhere, flooding. If it's not a drought, it's a flood or a fire or whatever. So, but look after each other. We'll help take care of each other the best we can.
Yeah, I saw a scary headline. I don't know if it was one of our papers or another paper talking about hundreds are still unaccounted for, which is kind of wild.
I think the official death toll now is like up north of 30 or 35, and they're still looking for people. So, fingers crossed that people just haven't been reconnected yet, and then all those missing are maybe they can find some of them that are in they're okay and safe somewhere. So.
Yeah, and it leads to the other point. Support local journalism. Doesn't matter where you're at here in Ohio. Cincinnati, I know we've been having some coverage of the Kentucky stuff. Joe, I don't know what it is. People are either crazy, they're all running out since COVID is not as bad as it was a year or two ago.
Right.
But man, it seems like there's breaking news every day, and Gannett does a pretty good job of kind of covering all the craziness. Lots of stuff going, some fun, some not so fun, but hey, Gannett's covering it. So support your local newspaper. If you don't have a Gannett paper around you, support whatever paper's around you.
Yep.
I mean, support any kind of journalism right now. Craig, anything before we go?
No. I definitely echo Joe's sentiments there and help out the people of Kentucky.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Please think about them, pray about them, but support them if you can too. I mean, that's important as well. All right. Well, for Joe, Craig, this is Chris. Thanks for checking us out. Have a great night, everybody.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mooney. Welcome to what is our new Hope Interrupted podcast based on the work from our book, Hope Interrupted, that I co-authored with my good friend Byron McCauley.
Hey, Jennifer, I'm looking forward to this podcast as much as I was looking forward to writing this book with you. We hope to interview some high-impact folks as well as have a little fun.
We're going to cover stories of hope. To learn more about our podcast and our book, please visit www.hopeinterrupted.com.